Welcome back to Masculine Scrapping. The night before we went to Epcot, we took the Skyliner to the Disney Boardwalk and ate at the Trattoria El Forno, which is an Italian place. And you can see here, of course, I have created an outline of Remy from the movie Ratatouille to kind of line in with the Italian restaurant. I had talked before about the need to take some people out of the pictures, and this is a classic example here of where I've done that. It was a 4x6 picture, and kind of took another picture, cut my son very carefully out of it, and then scooted him over. And you can't really tell that it has been changed unless you look really closely, and so I'm kind of proud of that strategy. This paper, again, from an old paper pack from the 90s. You can see it's not quite 12 by 12, so we've got to come up with a method of fixing that, and I'm going to show you what we're going to do with that to kind of align all these pages. So we'll start by getting this paper attached to the white background, and got to make sure that this Mickey paper is a very specific size. So I'm going to go ahead and put it on the right hand side, because we will then use a technique on the left hand side to get us there. All of these things, of course, designed on Cricut Design Space and cut out with my Cricut Maker. This one I will align to the left side, because we're going to add the borders on the right. So again, if you use those old Creative Memories albums, they're great. If you didn't use them, it make the paper and supplies from them make things a little difficult. So we're going to use this jagged edge terror. I like doing this technique because I feel like if everything is a straight line, it just doesn't look that great. And these jagged edges are a great way to kind of create that interest on the page without it being overwhelming. You're going to notice I'm going to do this on both sides and then cut it down the middle. If you try cutting or tearing and then using the opposite ends, it doesn't really work. See how this is all getting all mangled? And so I like to do it this other way, and I'm just throwing away this tear off part here because it does kind of get mangled in the process. Okay, so we'll then use this to just basically cut it down the middle. So now I have two of those, and actually going to do the same thing with this, but I do think I want this one to be a little bigger, so we'll keep that here. This video is probably going to be a little longer than some, just because there's a lot of the process that I've left for you to watch. Sometimes I do this ahead of time, but I thought on this particular project you would like this. Now look at, see this one? How it's got a white cardboard backing. And I like, inside, I like that because when you tear it, look at how it leaves a little bit more dimension. There are some cardstocks, I don't have very many of them, that actually have a different color completely on the inside, which I think is pretty cool. You just got to make sure you're aligning them up well. But I do love the way that ends up looking. So, okay. Again, this just shows recycling old supplies. These supplies came, I think, from my, I want to make sure I get the right side of that. There They either came from my mother's collection or my aunt's collection. I'm not really sure. But I'm gonna double it up here, and then you can see kind of how cool that looks. Same thing here, making sure we have the right side. There we go. So really accomplishing two things here. One is filling up to this 12 by 12, but then also giving it a very interesting border, which I like to do. I think sometimes if you don't have the borders, it just looks a little weird, and this kind of creates a boundary for the scrapbook. So there we go. Okay, so let's work on this side. This is really just a title. I didn't have a ton of pictures, but I wanted it to be more than just one side. Oh man, I really love the way that's looking. So I'm going to use this one because I don't want to. So we'll get Remy in there. Love the way that has turned out. This one here is interesting. I actually did this with a pen. I tried cutting it out and it was too thin and did not look good. So gray paper, black pen, silver pen, the pen feature on Cricut Design Studio, and then had it written out by my Cricut machine. I really love the way that looked out. I do think it would have been cool if it could have been cut out, but it was way too complicated. Okay, there's my adjusted photo and my other two photos. Little spoon of spaghetti. I'm recognizing that there's a little bit of paper here that didn't get cut off quite right, so I'll just use sharp pointed scissors. And actually, I think I need to do something before. Again, these are some old supplies. Look at that, $1.50. So you know these are old. Just some old stickers. And I thought they were fun because they kind of look a little bit like spaghetti. And so it is a sticker, and I am going to put it onto the page here if I can do it without making a mess. And I'm going to have to lift this piece, or do I want to go? No, I need it to go under. Okay. There we go. And let's pick another one for this side. I guess I'm going to have to go with this. Certainly you can tell my aunt or someone has already used part of it, because there are some space there. But yeah, oh, love the way this is turning out. Again, it's not a feature I would normally use because it is kind of feminine, and this is about masculine scrapping. But I absolutely love the way that has turned out. I'm going to go ahead and put those back in there so that I don't damage them. Again, I don't know when I'll ever use that again, but I love the way that this is turning out. So let's go ahead and put our spaghetti spoon down first. Again, the outline feature, really love that in Cricut Design Space. Because I think it really helps to have photos and other designs stand up. Oh, and I just ran out of that tape, so this is going to be a fun little journey here. So there we go. And this one needs to slide under there, but you can also notice that it's going up above, and that's actually helping to cover the person we're trying to take out of the picture. So it worked out really nicely. Same thing here. We're just going to slide that under here, pull those together. By the way, this restaurant is really good. If you like Italian food, I would recommend it. So let's see, I've got to place it really carefully. There we go. Again, overlapping all of the borders. The borders still create some sense even when you're doing overlapping. So there we go. That is Trattoria El Forno at the Disney Boardwalk in Disney World. And we have our Remy and some pictures of our food. Hope you've enjoyed watching this one. Have a great day. Take care.